Are you sick and tired of watching the same old gun channels like Nut and Fancy and the Yankee Marshal? Well, I got 5 that I'm going to talk about today that I think are criminally underrated that you probably haven't heard of, but should. Let's get into it. Whole lot of heat, quite the fashion statement today, but y'all are just going to have to deal with it. Before we get going, I need to say sorry to Larry Thickers and Nuttin' My Pantsy. I forgot to give you a shout out in the last video, so here it is. All right. So when it comes to gun content on the internet or on YouTube specifically, there's a lot out there. There's basically no shortage of gun content. Some of it good, some of it bad, a lot of it somewhere in the middle. The thing is, there's a lot of channels that don't get the recognition or you haven't heard of that might be on the come up, might not, that I think really do matter. And I want to talk about those ones today. This is going to be my top 5, but there's a couple honorable mentions that I wanted to talk about, even though they might not be for everyone. And one of them's not really a YouTuber technically, or he is. But the first one that I want to talk about is School of the American Rifle, otherwise known as SOTAR. It's a YouTube channel that, if you're like me, you're a big old gun nerd. So I love specs, I love data, I love looking at people take things apart, putting them back together, inspecting whether things are to spec down to certain thousandths of an inch. It's just really cool to me. What this channel does is they do inspections with various gauges and measurements on all different brands of ARs, either things that have failed or just general physicals. Like he'll just look at a BCG that they don't know if it works or doesn't work, and he's just saying, hey, this is perfectly in spec or it's slightly out of spec. Whether that matters or not is up to interpretation, but it's just really cool. If you enjoy learning about things, it's definitely something that I would recommend, but it's probably not good for the average watcher. The next one that I want to talk about isn't really much a YouTuber. He does post some YouTube videos, but he's really more of an Instagrammer. It's the Daniel Accord. I believe he's based out of Maryland. He has excellent camera quality, excellent audio quality. He's a great presenter. Posts a lot of great stuff on Instagram, a lot of helpful tips as far as shooting techniques, as well as just sort of some like vlogging and the gun experience. And I think it's just really cool to have people that are sharing normal experiences. Not everybody needs to be an educator. Not everybody needs to do torture tests. Some people really do serve a great purpose by just providing a lifestyle. And I think that's really what he shows through a lot of his content. Just enjoying guns and teaching along the way and making it fun. So I wanted to give him an honorable mention as well. Now, number 5 on the list, the underrated gun channel that I think you definitely need to watch. This is probably arguably one of the most important ones, but not for a reason you might think. It's Autumn's Armory. Now, this is a channel that is a father and his daughter just shooting guns and enjoying guns. This little girl could probably beat about 75% of you in a gunfight if push came to shove. And that's honestly something that I think is really cool. This girl's a badass. They had a previous channel with a lot more subscribers, but they posted a video of them together, her included, her and the father, manufacturing a suppressor, which YouTube really didn't like, and they basically killed the channel. They weren't able to get any views. It made it to a point where they weren't able to get any engagement, so they had to start a new channel. But their content is awesome. It's super wholesome. It's so different than what you're used to seeing on YouTube. It's just a dude and his daughter enjoying guns. And ultimately, people moan and whine about how, these cartoons and Looney Tunes are having their guns taken away because that affects gun culture and they're fighting the war on gun culture. That is not how we are going to win these wars. The way we are going to win the culture war is by showing people what guns are all about in a normal and healthy way. And this channel just epitomizes the perfect family dynamic of gun ownership. It's just a dude and his daughter enjoying and talking about guns. And that's really, really cool. Number 4, this is a channel that actually is fairly large. They were very popular way back in the day. They stopped making videos and then they started up again. And that's Supersetca. They're a channel with, I don't know the main guy's name, but I think the second shooter on it is Maximundi. They're excellent competition shooters, and they do a whole lot of excellent reviews with great camera quality, great background information, great details and comparisons between all sorts of various optics. And I think what's really cool about that is you get to see a variety of price ranges. So they'll do breakdowns on red dots that are cheap, red dots that are expensive, comparing the two, comparing ones within price ranges. Their most popular video is by far on the low power variable optics. This video is several years old, but they started back up again recently with some of the new iterations. and their content is just absolutely premium quality. You can tell that these guys really know how to work a camera. You can tell that these guys really know how to work a gun. It's honestly some of the best content when it comes to optics reviews on YouTube in general, and you need to be subscribed to them. This number 3, this channel is actually a little bit smaller. He's the guy that got me hooked on Topo Chico. This stuff is seriously ridiculous. I've drank probably like 30 of these things in like 5 days. It's probably not good for me, but it is what it is. Jim's Goon Life. He, again, is very clearly a photographer. His audio quality, his video quality is just very, very good. It's solid, it's crispy. It's got that thing that you can't describe, but when you watch it, it just looks right, you know? And I know I'm very picky about that. I'm not super pleased with my setup here, but it is what it is. But when I notice it, because I'm a photographer and videographer, I see that and I recognize it. What's cool about his content, he actually does shoot a lot. He hosts Average Joe's Range Day, which is kind of like a community that they just do a lot of shooting days with. And I think that's really cool. His content is excellent when you look at what you want in a gear review. I think he does an excellent job of showing and detailing it. He's got the right amount of B-roll, the right amount of shooting footage. One thing on my channel that I definitely lack is the shooting footage that I take. I'm not always achieving the quality that I would like to deliver, but it is what it is. You know, I'll work on that in the future, and I am working on that now. But his channel is just awesome. He's very good at what he does, and it's something that you need to check out before he blows up. Get in on this hype train now before it's too late, I guess. The next channel that this is why I wanted to make this video. This channel is by far one of my favorites. Now, I've interacted with them quite a bit. I don't know any of their names. I don't know who I'm talking to when I talk to them. But goddamn, the collective cohesion of these 3 dudes is absolutely awesome. These dudes are like, you take a little bit of Garand Thumb, a little bit of Dugan Ashley, and a little bit of Fook Long, and you put them together, and that's these 3 guys. This channel is honestly perfect. If you love quality gear and learning about it from people that really do put a lot of rounds through it, these are the guys. Somehow they've managed to break more guns than Military Arms Channel, but these guys are awesome. The audio quality is great. They have that excellent kind of cinematic look in their intros that I think Garand Thumb has, and they've got it kind of down. So this channel, they posted their first video 6 months ago. It was the Roscoe 11.5-inch Bloodline Sauce Pack review. 6 months ago, that video has 16,000 views, and they currently have 7.45 thousand followers. They've posted a lot of videos on quality guns. They're not an everyday uploader kind of channel, but when they do drop an upload, it's absolutely a banger. They've got the right amount of humor, the right amount of good information, and it just blends so perfectly. This is honestly like if Dugan Ashley and Garand Thumb had a baby, this is that channel. You absolutely need to be watching Gun Thoughts. They're awesome. I really love their content, and I think you will too. This next one, it's probably going to be a surprise to you when I say it's underrated, and that's not because this channel is small. It's because this channel deserves to be the biggest channel on the market. That's Sage Dynamics. Sage Dynamics, if you don't know who he is, he's an instructor, a great shooter, content creator, but he's really not a YouTuber per se. He doesn't play the YouTube games. He doesn't do affiliate links and all that kind of thing. This guy is all about information, and it's data driven. For any given handgun, rifle, or optic review, he starts it out by shooting 500 rounds as fast as he can, many times on full motherfucking auto. And that's to start. His optics and gun reviews typically are at least 2,000 rounds, with many of them being long-term. The reviews are so extensive and consistent that it provides an excellent source of information. You know that if in his review, the Trijicon RMR passes, but the SIG doesn't, you know that there's something going on there, because every single video he's made on micro red dots is similarly formatted and doing the same test. So you're able to form reliable reference points of what certain optics can and cannot do. And yes, it's anecdotal. It's only one optic typically per review, but it shows you the level of detail and quality that goes into these reviews. 2,000 rounds with 500 of them being as fast as possible, that's a whole lot of ammo. that really does go to show that he puts a lot of work into these reviews. He's not a take it out of the box, shoot one mag and say, yeah, you know, the Strike Eagle is the best 1-6 on the market. This guy actually knows what he's doing. He's got excellent products that he's worked with Agency Arms, Sons of Liberty Gunworks, I believe, or some other companies. I might be butchering that. But Sage Dynamics, while he does have 100,000 followers, and that is a lot, this guy deserves to be bigger than any gun channel on the market. And honestly, if you have any question about what sort of product you want to buy, just look it up. Look up that optic, look up that gun, and type in Sage Dynamics. If he's got a video on it, you know that you can trust his opinion. He's truly one of the most legit YouTubers on the market. I try to stay legit. I try to stay true to myself. I try not to be influenced at all by whether or not I'm getting something for free, which doesn't happen. But this guy, you know that he's not being swayed any direction with any sort of biases, because it's all objective and data driven, which I think is absolutely incredible. All in all of these channels are great, and I really think that you should watch them. If there is a channel that you think is underrated that I did not talk about, drop a comment down below, drop a link to their channel, explain why you think they're cool. I might check them out. I might already follow them. But this is just my personal top 5 that I wanted to talk about today. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace. Look, I'm a bit of a fashion icon, and I know that I said the windbreakers was the next look, but I really think, you know, Desert Eagle shoulder holster with cat riding a shark throwing up rainbows, I think that's the next look. You know, this is it, folks. I'm sorry. This could be it. I don't make the rules, except I guess this time I'm kind of making the rules, but yeah, thank you everyone. I appreciate all your support. Peace.